What if I told you that one of the greatest footballers in history was once told that his heart could stop him from playing football? A boy from a small Portuguese island, a teenager who left his family while he was still incredibly young, a player who was once considered too skinny and too weak to succeed at the highest level. And eventually, he became Cristiano Ronaldo, 5 time Ballon d'Or winner, Champions League legend, European champion with Portugal, one of the most recognizable athletes the world has ever seen. But Ronaldo's story isn't simply about goals and trophies, it's about sacrifice, obsession, failure, and an almost unbelievable desire to become better. This is the story of Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on February 5th, 1985 in Funchal, on the Portuguese island of Madeira. His family wasn't wealthy. His father, José Diniz Aveiro, worked as a kitman at a local football club, while his mother, Maria Dolores, worked hard to support the family. Football quickly became Ronaldo's passion. He didn't just enjoy playing football, he wanted to play all the time. At school, on the streets, wherever he could find a ball. His talent became obvious at a very young age, but there was one problem. Ronaldo was small and incredibly skinny. Some people questioned whether his physical strength would ever be enough for professional football. But Ronaldo had something that couldn't easily be measured, an obsession with improving, and that obsession would eventually change his life. At just 12 years old, Ronaldo made a decision that would change everything. He left Madeira and moved to Lisbon to join Sporting CP's academy. Think about that for a moment. At an age when most children are worried about school, friends, and playing with their families, Ronaldo was hundreds of kilometers away from home, trying to build a career in professional football. And it wasn't easy. He struggled with homesickness. He was surrounded by older players, he had to adapt to a completely different environment, and his accent and background sometimes made him stand out. But instead of letting those difficulties stop him, Ronaldo used them as motivation. He trained, he practiced, and then he trained some more. There was another major obstacle waiting for him. At around 15 years old, Ronaldo was diagnosed with a racing heart condition. For a young footballer, something like this could have been devastating. But after undergoing a procedure, Ronaldo was able to return to football. And he didn't return quietly. He came back determined to prove that nothing was going to stop him. At Sporting Lisbon, Ronaldo began developing into something special. His speed was obvious, his dribbling was unpredictable, his technique was extraordinary. But what really separated him was his willingness to work. Ronaldo wasn't satisfied with being talented, he wanted to become the best player he could possibly be. In 2002, he made his first team debut for Sporting. He was just 17 years old, and soon some of Europe's biggest clubs began paying attention. Then came one match that changed everything. Sporting played Manchester United in a friendly. Ronaldo was spectacular. His speed and skill caused Manchester United's players serious problems. After the match, several United players reportedly urged manager Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him. Ferguson listened, and in 2003, Manchester United signed the teenager. Cristiano Ronaldo had arrived in England, but nobody knew just how far he would go. When Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United, he wasn't the finished superstar we know today. He was a skinny teenager with incredible potential, and Sir Alex Ferguson knew exactly what he needed. Ronaldo had to become stronger, more disciplined, more efficient, and more dangerous. At Manchester United, Ronaldo transformed. He developed his physique, his finishing improved, his movement became smarter, his crossing became more precise, and his famous free kicks became a major weapon. But there was something else developing, his mentality. Ronaldo wanted to win everything. He wanted to score. He wanted to improve, and he wanted to be the best. In the 2007 to 2008 season, that work exploded. Ronaldo scored 42 goals in all competitions for Manchester United. He helped the club win the Premier League. Then came the Champions League final against Chelsea. The match went all the way to penalties. Ronaldo scored during the game but missed his penalty in the shootout. For a moment, it looked like his mistake could cost Manchester United the trophy, but his teammates rescued the team. Manchester United became European champions, and Ronaldo had announced himself to the football world. Later that year, he won his first Ballon d'Or. The skinny teenager from Madeira had become the best player in the world. In 2009, Ronaldo made the biggest move of his career. Real Madrid signed him for a then world record transfer fee of around £80 million. The pressure was enormous. Real Madrid wasn't just another club, it was one of the biggest football institutions on earth. And Ronaldo had to prove that he was worth every penny. His response? Goals. Lots of them. In his first season, he scored 33 goals in all competitions, and this was only the beginning. At Real Madrid, Ronaldo entered another level. He became stronger, faster, more clinical, and his ability to score from almost anywhere became terrifying for defenders. Then came one of the greatest individual seasons of his career. In 2013, Ronaldo scored an incredible 69 goals for club and country. He won another Ballon d'Or. And the rivalry between Ronaldo and Lionel Messi became one of the greatest individual rivalries football had ever seen. Two completely different players, two extraordinary careers, and two players constantly pushing each other to become even better. If there is one competition that defines Ronaldo's career, it may be the UEFA Champions League. He became one of the competition's greatest scorers. He delivered in knockout matches. He scored in finals. He produced incredible performances when the pressure was highest. With Real Madrid, Ronaldo helped the club win the Champions League multiple times. And between 2016 and 2018, Real Madrid achieved something extraordinary. 3 consecutive Champions League titles. Ronaldo was central to that success. Against Bayern Munich, against Atletico Madrid, against Juventus, again and again, when Real Madrid needed a goal, Ronaldo seemed to appear. He wasn't simply a great scorer. He became a player who thrived when the entire world was watching. But there was one trophy Ronaldo wanted more than almost anything else. A major international trophy with Portugal. He had experienced disappointment before. In 2004, Portugal reached the European Championship final on home soil. Ronaldo was just 19. Portugal lost to Greece. Years passed. There were more tournaments, more heartbreak, more criticism, and then came Euro 2016. Portugal reached the final against France. Ronaldo was forced off the pitch after suffering an injury in the first half. For most players, that might have been the end of the story, but Ronaldo refused to disappear. From the sidelines, he encouraged his teammates. He shouted. He celebrated. He lived every moment of the match, and Portugal eventually won. For the first time, Cristiano Ronaldo was an international champion. He had finally achieved something he had been chasing for years. In 2018, Ronaldo left Real Madrid after nearly a decade. He joined Juventus, another country, another league, another challenge, and once again, he proved himself. He continued scoring at an incredible rate and helped Juventus win domestic trophies. Eventually, Ronaldo returned to Manchester United. It was an emotional reunion. The same club where a young, skinny Portuguese teenager had first become a global superstar. But football is unpredictable. The second spell didn't unfold the way many fans had hoped, and eventually Ronaldo moved on again. Ronaldo's career is difficult to summarize with statistic alone. 5 Ballon d'Or awards, multiple Champions League titles, European Championship glory, hundreds of international goals, hundreds of club goals, records that may stand for generations. But perhaps his greatest achievement isn't any individual number. It's a transformation. The boy from Madeira became one of the most physically prepared athletes in football. The skinny teenager became one of the most dangerous goal scorers the sport had ever seen. And the young player who simply wanted to become better built a career that lasted across multiple generations of football. Ronaldo's story teaches us something simple. Talent can open the door, But talent alone doesn't keep you at the top. Discipline does, sacrifice does, consistency does. And perhaps most importantly, the willingness to keep improving when everyone already thinks you're good enough. From Madeira to Lisbon, from Manchester to Madrid, from Turin back to Manchester, and eventually to another chapter in his career. His journey is far from a simple story of goals and trophies. It's the story of a boy who refused to accept his limitations. And that's why, regardless of where you rank him among the greatest players ever, Cristiano Ronaldo's name is already written into football history. But now I want to know what you think. Is Cristiano Ronaldo the greatest footballer of all time, or does another player deserve that title? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more football stories.